Hey guys, hope you've had a great week so far. Last video we talked about kind of how the war in Vietnam developed, with the domino theory and concerns over the spread of communism, and then into kind of the Gulf of Tonkin resolution by LBJ, Lyndon B. Johnson, where he, took this farther by escalating it, bringing in way more troops to fight than had previously been there. And that's kind of what we looked at last time. Today, you guys are going to have an assignment surrounding kind of the end of Vietnam, how we kind of work our way out under Nixon with, peace with honor and all that. Um, the previous videos, guys, touched on the Tet Offensive and how, seeing Viet Cong, these people that South Vietnamese people that were supporting North Vietnam that wanted to join North Vietnam, having them get all the way up to the American embassy in South Vietnam, and people seeing that on television, going, "Oh, they keep saying we're winning this war, we're killing all these Viet Cong. Then how does this type of thing happen where they almost get into our embassy?" Um, so that's very powerful, and so that really hurts the war effort at home. And if you guys remember from talking about World War One and World War Two, we talked about the morale of your citizens, back home is very, very important as well, right? They have to have that winning attitude and feel good about it and support the war, or it's not going to work out. People are going to get tired of it, tired of the casualties of the losses, and that's what we saw in Vietnam. Is our soldiers didn't really lose hardly any battles. It was more the people at home were tired of the fighting, and that's when we said, okay, we need to find peace with honor and get out. Your assignment, guys, I don't want to necessarily focus on a lot of that. I want to talk about the massacre at My Lai. And so My Lai, guys, was a village in South Vietnam. Charlie Company there ordered to go um, take out the Viet Cong there that are around that village. They're told, um, and their officers say, "Hey, the civilians should be cleared out. Anybody there is Viet Cong, and get ready to go." And so they go in, and they don't really come across any, soldiers, Viet Cong. They come across a bunch of people in their huts and their homes, so they drag them out, run a bunch of them into a ditch, and shoot them, led by Lieutenant Calley. Um, so terrible, terrible tragedy, terrible thing for our country to be associated with. And it's really sad and unfortunate. Um, but that really, when that got out, guys, so first they tried to cover it up, but then eventually it got out. When that got out, people back home that had previously been like, well, the war's not that bad, so on and so forth, they were saying, hey, we need to get out of Vietnam. What are we doing in Vietnam for if we're doing these kind of tragedies? We're supposed to be helping these people in South Vietnam, liberating them, helping them fight for their freedom and independence. And here people are dragging them into a ditch and mowing them down, killing women and children. So not combatants, women and children. And so these some of these soldiers said, "Hey, these were our orders, and we're following orders." And Lieutenant Calley is the only one that really, so an officer was the only one that really paid for these crimes. But I think we've lost something, guys. When we can't say no, these are women and children. I am not following orders. I'm not going to shoot these people. They are not combatants, and so I think we've really lost our way if we cannot distinguish between those two sides. And so just yeah, terrible black mark, and it really infuriated people at home when they found out, one, that this happened, and two, um, higher up officers in the military covered this up. And so this was a big black eye and really helped facilitate the speeding up process of, hey, let's get the heck out of this war, which we'll see. Okay, so very, very unfortunate, but it is part of our history, and I think it's important to understand because of that idea of um, we have to be able to think for ourselves and have some kind of moral compass to say this is right, this is wrong, and not just followers because that's what we've kind of demonized the Nazis and the Soviets and people like that for, and the Japanese during World War II for just following orders and killing innocent people in mass because they're following orders. So we definitely, I think it's important to understand those things. Okay, well, kind of a tough subject, guys, but hopefully you have a good rest of your week, and we will wrap things up soon. Thanks.